Before you become lost among the stars in Bethesda's latest flagship RPG, you have an important decision to make. Who the heck is your character anyway? After a brief intro, you'll create your character and decide on a background and up to 3 optional traits. The former, which will decide which 3 skills you'll start with 1 free rank in, and the latter, which offers some additional quirks just for fun. First up is backgrounds. Starfield offers 20 pre-generated backgrounds to choose from, as well as the ability to customize your own and pick your 3 skills from the ground up. However, by choosing one of the pre-generated options, you'll gain access to specific dialogue options and unique ways certain characters will reference your origin story based on what you choose. So we recommend picking one of the pre-generated options if you want that additional benefit. Beyond background-specific dialogue though, it doesn't matter much which you choose, because every skill can be purchased by any character down the road, and there's nothing unique about your starting skills, aside from the fact that you get them for free. Most of the benefit is flavor, really. If you're going to be running into battle with nothing but your fists like a maniac, we recommend the Bouncer background, which comes with boxing to improve unarmed effectiveness, fitness to increase your stamina, and security to let you pick locks and doors to get into places you ought not, all incredibly useful for a melee berserker. If you're going to be focusing on ships and hanging out in space, we suggest picking the Long Hauler background, which gives you weightlifting to increase your carrying capacity, piloting to make you more effective in the cockpit, and ballistic weapon systems, which improves your odds in a dogfight. If you're making a stealthy character, you might be tempted to pick up Ronin, but we'd actually endorse the Cyber Runner background instead. While melee and stealth are useful, Ronin also gives the scavenging skill, which merely gives you a chance at finding some extra loot in a game where that isn't much of a problem. Meanwhile, Cyber Runner gives stealth, security to lockpick things, and theft, which unlocks the pickpocketing ability, all 3 of which allow you to do things you can't do without buying the first rank in those skills first. Finally, if you just want to wreck everyone in combat, we highly recommend the Soldier background. This background comes with fitness for improved stamina, ballistics, which makes you more deadly with non-laser weapons, and boost pack training, which unlocks your ability to use a jetpack during combat and for exploration. In the end though, none of these backgrounds really locks you into anything except the odd line of dialogue, so don't stress too much about it. Traits, on the other hand, have a lasting impact and cannot be gained through regular means, so you'll want to choose wisely. Those options are Alien DNA. This trait makes you a freak of nature with increased health and oxygen, but also makes healing and food items less effective. Not a bad option if you want to play as a tank. Dream Home. This one gives you a massive customizable house with the drawback that you owe 125,000 credits to the bank that you'll need to make weekly mortgage payments on. Hooray for crushing debt.
That is a chunk of change to be sure.
Seriously though, the house you get is pretty darn cool, so this is one to seriously consider. Empath. This trait gives you a buff after you do something that your companion approves of, but if you do something they hate, you'll be worse in combat too. We don't think this one is particularly good.
What a stupid waste of time.
Extrovert or introvert. Do you plan on traveling with an NPC companion throughout Starfield, or will you be going it alone? If you don't play well with others, introvert is a good option as you'll have more stamina when playing solo, while picking extrovert will offer the same perk while accompanied by others. Freestar Collective, Neon Street Rat, and United Colonies Native. Picking one of these traits will determine how your character grew up and will make specific dialogue options available depending on your choice, as well as making the factions you don't pick more critical of you if you cross them, with increased crime bounties on your head if you break the law in their territory. Freestar Collective will make you a part of the fringes of space outside settled planets. United Colonies Native will put you in the good graces of the core worlds of humanity and their central government. And Neon Street Rat will make you a veteran of the grisly cyberpunk streets of Neon, one of Starfield's seedier areas. Hero Worshipped. Do you want to be annoyed to no end by the same guy in Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion? Well, you're in luck, because they brought him back and he's more than happy to worship the ground you walk on, shower you with praise, and occasionally give you gifts for the low price of talking your ear off every second of every day until you join Cthulhu in madness, or just kill him so he'll be gone.
Either way, it's such an honor to meet you.
Kid stuff. This trait is one of the more fun ones. Your parents are still around and could really use some help with the rising cost of groceries. In exchange for having parents you can visit and hang out with, you'll automatically lose 2% of your credits every week. They also base your parents' appearance off of your character's look, which is pretty cool. Funny thing though, you can actually opt to cut your parents off with a dialogue option that removes the trait.
You know, it's supposed to be us taking care of you, right?
Raised Enlightened, Raised Universal, or Serpent's Embrace. These 3 traits will determine your character's religious background, if you want one. Enlightened and Universal are 2 of Starfield's more mainstream religions, which you can learn more about when you visit New Atlantis, while Serpent's Embrace means your character was brought up to worship the Great Serpent, which is a radical faction best known for killing anyone who disagrees with their cultish devotion to the Great Serpent. Sounds like fun to me. Spaced or Terra Firma. These are pretty straightforward. Spaced will give you more health and stamina while in space, but will have the inverse effect while planetside, while Terra Firma will do the exact opposite. Depending on how you plan on playing, one of these could make a lot of sense for you, but probably not. Sounds like a weird trade-off, to be honest. Taskmaster. This one is pretty useful. If you have hired crew members aboard your ship and one of your ship's systems takes damage and falls below 50% of its health, there's a chance it'll be restored to full health immediately, which could save your butt in a dogfight. The drawback is that crew will cost you twice as much to employ.
Thanks. Where are you sending me?
Wanted. Finally, this trait will just put an unspecific bounty on your head where bounty hunters will randomly show up to try and kill or maim you. In exchange for this troublesome situation, you'll do more damage when your health is low, which can certainly get you out of quite a few pickles. Think carefully about which of these 3 traits would work best with the character you're trying to build, and voila! You've just created a character in Starfield. Now get out there and start exploring.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
For more, check out our video on the first things to do in Starfield and the things the game doesn't tell you. And for everything else, continue getting lost in New Atlantis with IGN.